What's up guys, Bomboy here, and welcome to another episode of the Time PVMer. Now this episode I'm starting off with something a little bit weird here. It's a huge episode by the way. I've got so many clips in fact that I am actually going to have to break this down into 2 videos, so you might well get another one next week. But yeah, here we are. I'm just basically casting bones to peaches, well bones to bananas in fact, so that I can get 1,000 bananas for the teleport to Marim, which is Apatol for the house, and then the portal nexus. It's one of the few last 4 teleports I believe I needed to sort out. And I did start out, I bought a couple of inventories from the monkey seller who sells them. He's just like to the northwest of this bank here. And within 2 inventories I decided that was not worth doing, especially considering I had like over 3,000 of these big bones lying around. I can't remember from what Slayer creature it was, but it dropped noted big bones, and I thought they'd come in handy for something. If anything, it would have been bone crusher charges, but yeah, they're proving out to be very useful for this bones to bananas to get 1,000 really quickly. And something I should point out, to do 1,000 took less than 3 minutes. So if you calculate the cost of the bones and the nature runes, you know, the bananas are basically worth 100k for 1,000. I'll show you just now. There you go, 101k for 1,000 at the time of doing that, and that took 3 minutes to make them all. So, you know, that's quite a lot of money, I would say. I think there's a profit there for a low level, considering that's like a level 15 spell. Good money maker for a very low level. Now, one of the other things that I needed was a bunch of astral runes. I believe I needed in total 7,000 astral runes. By the way, since making this and completing, or what I believe to be completing the portal nexus, it seems that there are more teleport options added on now. I don't know if that's something I've missed. I haven't had time to keep up with the updates recently, but it looks like I need to craft some more astral runes in fact. But yeah, so that was hopefully the last inventory. I believe it was. There you go, over 7,000 astral runes. And we'll go and fill up the portal nexus. So off we go. Now the portal nexus is a fantastically useful thing, and there's quite a lot of progression in this video. So much has happened, so brace yourselves for that. There's a lot of kind of updates and upgrades and things like that in this video. But yeah, we're just gonna fill up the configuration now. And so what you can see here is I've got 5 teleports left, and I can fulfill them all, I believe. And so since then, that's the full 15 teleports, but I believe there's 3 or 4 have been added since then, unless I'm losing my mind and it was a dream or something. There are ones that I haven't completed now, so yeah, I'll have to check into that a bit later, but not for this video. And from crafting those 7,000 astral runes, I actually managed to get very close to 80 rune crafting. This is my last level to be below 80, 79 obviously, and we're just doing a couple, literally it was two trips of bloods, and so once I've done these ones, and maybe the second lot, there we go, so I just got to break down all these essence blocks, and there we go, 80 rune crafting, a nice looking total level. Everything's 80 plus, and I'm going to have to get my wood cutting up and my fishing to make sure that I can still get my tiers on rune crafting, and also my prayer actually. So yeah, this is the kind of the point where it's going to force me to go up evenly, and hopefully push quite hard towards maxing. It's going to be interesting. Now this is one of the kind of exciting things. Again, you know, you're obviously aware of what's about to happen, but there's level 89 farming, and the levels are just coming in really easily with this. I have now run out of seeds at the end of this video. I've been trying to source more high level seeds like crazy, and I have not been getting the RNG. So farming will kind of slow down for now until I've stockpiled lots of seeds. But yeah, I was just checking the farming skill guide, and I've noticed that actually at 91 I can plant 2 spirit trees, which is actually going to be really useful. I'm quite excited about that, so I do need to push a little bit harder for 91. So another continuation from the previous video, I am finally finishing off 90 construction. I can't believe how much has happened this like 2-week period. It's crazy. This feels like I put this up in the last video, but there's 90 construction coming in. Fantastic level. It means that I can put the like the fairy ring and the spirit tree in one patch, which is going to be magnificent. It also means that in raids I can make the large chest if somebody's already made the medium, or the, well, probably if somebody's already made the medium, I can make the large and get a few extra points. But here we are, just getting the boost, and this looks like first try, but this is the 5th clip of this, by the way, so imagine 5 identical inventories to this, and I've finally got it. But there we go, fairy ring and spirit tree in one place. And what this means is I can delete the fairy ring to the south and that whole garden, and it means I've got one less room in my house, which I didn't necessarily need to do right now, but just for knowing where to run and being efficient, it feels nicer to have them both together. I have since seen that some proper end game players actually keep the fairy ring and the tree separate, so I'm not sure where to go with that. But here we are, I'm just kind of neatening up the house, trying to make it a bit more, kind of have some more flow, I should say, because my costume room is basically to the middle and the far west, right, past my occult altar that you can see there. So I've put my menagerie down to the south, below the portal, basically, that you teleport into, and I'm going to put the costume room to the right of the fairy ring and spirit tree. And that's just because I used the costume room quite a lot recently. I'm pretty aware that this isn't the ideal setup for grinding out some things. I believe if I turn my pool round and something else round, I can have the teleport really close to, the pool, but I'd have to look that up. And for right now, this works quite well for the kind of all-round flow I've got going. I'm not really grinding one thing apart from raids, but that obviously doesn't use the house much. So yeah, there we go. That's the current layout for now, and I think it's probably going to work for a while. I just need to get more pets so it looks a bit better. And what do you guys reckon? Do I need rugs, or shall I just leave it as is? I kind of like the wooden floors, but it feels a bit plain sometimes. This was a clip I just had to put in. This is the first out of 451 raids I've ever seen somebody get an Onyx from Tecton. So for me, that's crazy. The first one, this isn't my 451st raid at that point. I believe this was like 378. But yeah, something I've never seen before. I thought that was really cool. So here we are. I'm killing some neck whales because I got an elite from that raid earlier. And it required rune boots, which I thought I had enough pairs, but obviously I've had out one too many. And I've never received this clue before, so I had to go on the hunt, and you can see it took a little while. I got a few snapdragon seeds, which is always nice, but I did get the rune boots eventually. And yeah, we're just going to go and complete the clue here. And there's the spooky looking rune miner. Not seen this before. Don't know if it was a bot or not. He said something back, but I was like, woo. There we go, we'll just see what this clue's about. Little jump for joy. What's he going to give us? And it's a casket. I nearly dropped this one. I'm quite glad I didn't. I didn't realise how close to the end of it I was. But there we go. Let's see the loot. More ancient blessings. I've got quite a lot of them now. Everything else is alchables or skill stuff. It's always useful, Now, coming around surprisingly quickly is level 90 farming there. And I don't know how that was so quick. It just, boom, it just happened really, really instantly. So that brings me to a total level of 2,089, in fact. And level 90 farming is something that's kind of, it's useful for the spirit trees and things like that, and beyond farming torstal herbs, it's not really that required. But in raid masses, people appreciate you having 90 farming for the herb patches so that you don't kind of pull up the herbs too quickly. Anyway, with this big team that I've been joining recently, sometimes you get a gap where you'll ask for the ETA, and they said like 20 minutes, and I thought, well, I need to train my defense a bit. It's not getting very fast XP at raids, and I also need some fresh whips. I'm down to just 2, and I was here. This is like 6 kills in. This is not a word of a lie. I just popped there, and boom, Abbey dagger on the floor. Unbelievable luck. And it looks fantastic. I haven't even had one of these on my main, even though they're cheap. I've never bought one, because there was no need, but look at that. And that's actually really useful for small man teams killing Bassa in raids, so I'm very pleased to have that actually. Really nice weapon, and obviously I'm going to do the obligatory thing, take it to Clan Wars and spec someone out. So I'm just checking the log here, and I've got to point out the ridiculousness of the luck again with this item. 5,056 Abyssal Demons in total, and this drop is 1 in 32,768. So that's incredibly rare, and I just popped there, got 6 kills whilst I was waiting for another raid, and boom, Abyssal Dagger. So the next thing I went and did was I made a Weapon ++ poison potion, which requires a nightshade, coconut milk and something else. And there we go. Now this dagger is ready to fight. And there we go. 3024 spec. On a void pure, but you know, sure. And the very next spec, another big one on this Bandos Claws guy. And yeah, it was a fun little thing. I didn't do much of that because there's a lot of work to do. But another elite here, had to kill KBD. That brings my KBD kill count to 4. And I have never grinded KBD, as you can tell. The only reason I've killed it is for this clue. So you can see how many times I've been here and done this. So one day, hopefully, I'll get a pet like that, just off these kill count, off these clue kill counts. Another junkie clue. And then we got another elite, and again, not so great. Just rune stuff, alkaballs. I quite like it. I collect it all, obviously. And if I ever get really desperate for GP, I will alk it, but I do try to collect it. Now, we got another raid here. This is raid 414 for me, and the team that I'm with gets a twisted bow. Now, this team is incredible. They are an all-day team. You have to be good. It's a D-Warhammer requirement and Aram's requirement. They will give you a chance, but if you mess up too hard, you're out. Like, you know, they're a very, very consistent team. It's amazing. Sometimes there'll be 26 people in there, and it goes smooth as hell, like a 22-minute raid even. So here we go, it's raid number 415, and I go and get myself possibly the second most valuable drop from raids currently, which is the Dragon Hunter Crossbow, which has recently had a little graphical update, so it's now white and green to match the Ulm colours and the twisted bow. I really like it. There's some fools out there that say it looks like Armadyl Crossbow. They're completely wrong. They're blind if they think it looks like Armadyl Crossbow. But at the time of getting this, on this day, it had peaked at 180 mil. So anyway, amazing drop, and I've taken it to Vorkath, and I'm speeding through this first bit because, you know, they're not the quickest of kills for sure. I'm not using the blowpipe, and I'm not doing the Wook's Walk because honestly I'm too inconsistent and I just can't really be bothered. The Dragon Hunter Crossbow is to Vorkath like the T-bow is to Zulrah. It just suddenly becomes really relatively AFK and super easy. So I put this clip in because it is my new personal best. And there we go. Let's see what we end up getting. 1 minute 19, no blowpipe, no rigger. I thought the RNG on that kill was insane. And I can finally start using these dragon bolts because I'm obviously going to get them. It's a fantastic unlock for this account. Amazing unlock. And you know, I'm now able to do 3 kill trips to Vorkath. Just by staying there, which with the blowpipe I could barely do 1. Sometimes I do 2, but yeah, you know, it's amazing money per hour, and it's really quite fun. And I will be hunting for the Skeletal Visage, the Draconic Visage, the Dragon Bone Necklace, and the Vorkath pet, obviously through Slayer at some point. But I did quite a lot in this run-up because it was just before, like 3 or 4 days before they were going to nerf the bird nest. And so the Dragon Hunter Crossbow couldn't have come at a better time, really. So I got maybe 500 bird nests out of this and the bird houses in that kind of period, so it was not bad. Anyway, I was watching Rice Cup stream. This is going to be the last clip for this video. Like I said, there's so much. There will be another video probably coming next week. But somebody called out this Dragon Impling, and I was just in a position where I could go and get it. That's the amazing thing about Vorkath, actually, is the breaks. So I went to get it. He was a bit of a little pig, but he came back. And I used up my only nats in one shot, but there we go. Let's see if we get him now. There we go. And is this going to be a good one? This is only like my 4th or 5th Dragon Impling I've ever caught since getting 83 Hunter. Let's see what it pops for us. And there it is, 183 Dragon Darts. I think that's as good as it gets, to be honest. That's a 660k drop. And I'm going to need them for like Inferno attempts or Theatre of Blood. But anyway, that's it for me this week, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Have a good one. Take it easy. I'll see you on RuneScape. Peace.